here in Collegeville. And yes, I'm glad to say that I'm a Kahok. I'm about to graduate. Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
White and purple, yeah, I know you see it. You see the chaos and you tell yourself you wanna be it. I go to see it, yes, so I am a champ. I ran this game so long I'm starting to get a stomach cramp. Class of 1, 2, but we're number 1. Shout out to all my juniors, yeah, you know we get it done. White and purple, you already know. It's little easy peasy and that boy lay low.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
I'm by my white and purple, Scarface and DJ Screw. We on the peak of the mountain, best at what we do. Yeah, we the champs, homie, but we ain't selling shoes. These boys bleeding purple, call us the chiefin' crew. They don't gotta do it big, cause I don't play no sports. I play my cards right, now a good report. When Dub 12 comes, it's time to roll off. I'm the back cause everybody rolling with me, K-Hawks.
Yeah, you know what it is.
All the freshmen,
High school champions.
yeah, they know what it is.
All around my town, everything is
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
we shut it down for the school and the sports team.
White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
Yeah, you know what it is. Collegeville High School, a champions. Yeah, screaming that's us. And when we on top, boy, quit fussing. All around my town, everything is white and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple. We shut it down for the school and the sports team. White and purple, white and purple, white and purple, white and purple.
And a very good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to Blazer Field here in O'Fallon. It's time for some baseball playoff action for you here on the Kahok Sports Network. We had volleyball for you on Monday, softball for you yesterday, and baseball today to round out our 3 straight days of playoff coverage. My name is Todd Duke, and welcome as we get you set for this 4A semifinal, regional semifinal between Collinsville and Belleville East. And we welcome you into the pregame show brought to you today by Chiropractic Works in Collinsville. Owned and operated by Dr. Chris McCluskey. He and his crew are focused on helping as many people as possible live high-quality lives all through chiropractic care and wellness. You can visit Dr. McCluskey at Chiropractic Works in Collinsville, 410 Regency Center, just off of the Beltline Road in Collinsville. Give them a call at 618-343-3602 or online at chiropracticworkscollinsville.com. Kahawks come into this contest 14-19 in the regular season. They finished 4-8 in the Southwestern Conference. That was good enough for 6th place. Brett Swip is Collinsville's head coach. 5th year he's been doing that. He has a record right now of 71 wins and 92 losses. Belleville East, they come in at 20-15. They finished 9-3 in Southwestern Conference play. That was good enough for 3rd place. Ryan Wiggs is their head coach. He's into his 10th year and has a record of 186 wins and 137 losses. Well, the Kahawks fell off a bit record-wise from what they finished with the last couple of seasons. Mother Nature played a part in taking a few games off the schedule. Not as bad as what happened to the Kahawk softball team, though, due in large part to playing the first 6 weeks' worth of home games, either at Grizzly Stadium in Sauget or SIUE in Edwardsville, which are both turf fields, and they can handle the rain better than the grass field there at Woodland Park. But Collinsville did lose 3 games to the very wet spring. The 14-win season turned in this year are a few games under the 17 wins from last year and the 16-win season of 2023. Collinsville is still searching for their first season finishing above the 500 mark since going 18-17 in head coach Pete Trapp's final season of 2018. The Kahawks put together a 5-game win streak this year from the end of April through the first week of May, with a doubleheader win over East St. Louis and wins over Highland, Columbia, and Alton as well. Over the season, Collinsville had 2 3-game winless streaks and 1 4-gamer. The Kahawks lost both the home and away games versus Belleville East this season, losing 7-5 at Belleville East 8 days ago, and Thursday's 10-5 loss at Fletcher Field. Collinsville is looking for their first baseball regional championship since 2008, also under head coach Pete Trapp, and they also won a sectional championship that season as well. The Lancers had a very similar to their last 2 years kind of a season. Their 20-win season is one better than last year's 19-17 campaign and one less than what they turned in when Belleville East went 21-14 in 2023. After a 3-3 start to this season, the Lancers really caught fire as the month of April got underway. A 14-1 win versus Granite City on the final day of March started a 10-game win streak for Belleville East that ended on April the 16th with a 5-3 loss at Rochester. After that loss, the Lancers went 5-3 with a couple of back-to-back wins, but after taking both the home and away games from O'Fallon on April 29th and May 1st, Belleville East suffered through a 6-game winless skid that was snapped with that 7-5 win over Collinsville back on May the 20th at Belleville East. In between the 2 wins over Collinsville was a 16-1 loss to Triad, and Belleville East ended the regular season with a 3-0 loss to Highland on Memorial Day. Belleville East has not finished a season under 500 since a 17-20 season in Wiggs' second year as head coach. The Lancers have 2 regional championships under Wiggs, his third year of 2018, and the last one, which came 3 years ago in the 2022 season. Had a chance just a little while ago to catch up with Collinsville head coach Brett Swipp. We will pass that conversation on to you next as the Chiropractic Works pregame show continues here on the Kahawk Sports Network.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an Invisired lipolaser machine. The Invisired machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The Invisired technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we would be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that Invisired offers.
Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of Code 3 Spices, is first responder owned by proud Kahawk alums. Located at 1966 Vandalia, Collinsville Barbecue Supply is your one-of-a-kind barbecue headquarters that focuses on everything barbecue and cooking, providing the best American-made barbecue grills, in-person class instruction, smokers, rubs, sauces, accessories, and cooking expertise from professional barbecue experts, including an in-house chef and pitmaster. Code 3 Spices provides award-winning sauces and rubs that supports our nation's first responder and military organizations that focus on the fallen, suicide prevention, and PTSD awareness. Stop on by, see the guys at Collinsville Barbecue Supply for all of your cooking and grilling needs. Collinsville Barbecue Supply, home of the 4-time world champion Patriot Sauce. Learn more about their products and mission in giving back to those who serve at CollinsvilleBarbecue.com or call 618-855-8855. All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is number 1 on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent service staff. Did we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. And of course, All Pro Tees is your destination for everything Collinsville Kahawks. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville at 2240 South Morrison Avenue. online at allprotees.com, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. All Pro Tees, 618-344-2200.
We love to have you come work for the City of Collinsville. We have many positions available, from seasonal jobs to full-time opportunities in many of our departments. From police and fire to Gateway Center, Parks and Recreation, and City Hall. Our employees enjoy great benefits like comprehensive medical plans, paid time off, tuition reimbursement, and more. Visit the city's website, collinsvilleil.org, to apply and learn more about working for the City of Collinsville.
Are you a collector of sports trading cards and other sports memorabilia? Then you need to check out Rippin' Rookies Cards and Collectibles in Collinsville. Rippin' Rookies specializes in sports cards from all the major sports, MLB, NBA, NFL, plus Star Wars cards and more. Rippin' Rookies buys, sells, and trades cards and other memorabilia, and they have a large selection of single and graded cards. Walk-ins at Rippin' Rookies are welcome, or you can set up an appointment for large collections at sales@rippinrookies.com. Rippin' Rookies, 102 East Clay Street in the Old Herald Complex. Open Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Rippin' Rookies, Collinsville sports card and memorabilia destination.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an InvisiRed lipolaser machine. The InvisiRed machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The InvisiRed technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we would be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that InvisiRed offers.
And we welcome you back into the Chiropractic Works pregame show here on the Kahok Sports Network. 3 playoff games in a row, and we find ourselves with baseball this time around as your Collinsville Kahawks have arrived here at O'Fallon's Blazer Park and get ready to take on the Belleville East Lancers. Joining me now is Collinsville head coach, 5th year as the Kahawk baseball head coach. All right, Coach, let's get an update on both Luke Robinson and Braden Hinson. They were injured after colliding in shallow left field of that game last week versus Belleville East. How are they, and will they be playing?
Yeah, wow, that was scary. You know, I mean, 2 super competitive guys going full out for a baseball, and yeah, we believe they did collide. You know, we believe that maybe it was like Luke's kind of mouth nose area that hit Braden's head, and then Braden's shoulder kind of went into the ground. So amazingly, both of them were were released, and you know, ultimately they're going to be fine. Luke is in the lineup today starting, and then Braden is available today as well. Braden kind of bounced back a little bit slower, just, you know, kind of had both shoulder and the collision happening, but ultimately they went down to Marion with our guys on Saturday. This happened on Thursday, and they went down to Marion. They went in street clothes, and their teammates were just excited to see them. You know, I mean, everybody was kind of on pins and needles, and it was tough for the guys to kind of continue that game and know that their brothers were hurting. But it's one great thing about being in St. Louis is you're really close to good hospitals, and you know, Children's is where Braden went, and then Luke is 18, so Luke had to go to Barnes, so he had a little bit more of the adult experience over there. But you know, Lord willing, they're both okay.
Yeah, glad to hear that. All right, let's move on to games at hand here. Well, let's talk about Mother Nature, man. They played havoc with your schedule. But it actually turned out better than the softball schedule did, because you guys had the fortunes of playing at SIUE and at Grizzlies Park on turf during that 5-week period. So talk to me about what Mother Nature did to your schedule this year.
It was a wild April, that's for sure. I think it was the most rain that we've ever had in April or something, I heard. And we noticed it, you know. We didn't know. If you look in the back of our cars, we all have sleeves and jackets and short sleeves, and you just never know what the weather's going to be right now. And, you know, we were fortunate that we had access to some turf fields because our fields are under construction, and that gave us some opportunities to get some more practices and games in. And then, of course, we have access to an indoor facility, which, helps on the practice side as well. It's, it is what it is. I mean, your spring baseball is just goofy. We're right on that front. One of my very first coaching jobs was at Truman State University up in Kirksville, Missouri. And I used to say all the time, man, like it would snow in the morning and be 80 in the afternoon. And you can't plan ahead. You got to just go with the flow. It's like we live right on that jet stream, and you just never know what it's going to be. And that's what this spring has been. Our guys are kind of super resilient from it. We've kind of been the homeless crew. We've been living out of the back of our cars. All of our equipment's in the coaches' cars. We really don't have quite our home set up yet. So that bodes well for playoffs, though, because we don't need home field advantage. We're used to kind of being on the road, and that's what will be the next couple games.
All right, you guys finished the regular season at 14-19. Give me your thoughts on the just completed regular tilt.
Yeah, I mean, there's bright spots. The level of competition that we play is awesome. So our guys just, there's nothing that they're not going to see. They've seen it all. So that's exciting. The level of competition gets you ready for right now. We have kind of a conference tournament. That's kind of what our regional is. So we're ready for that. We've split with just about everybody in our conference. We had it was kind of tough there with Belleville East and the injuries that we had. But we're ready. Our guys are in a really good spot mentally, how hard they've been working. They're super excited about the opportunity that we have, in this regional. They're seeing teams that we know what we're going to expect, so there's not like anything crazy of, being surprised. We know we're going to face. We know, what we need to do. We know what our scouting report is. Practice the last couple days has been awesome. The guys have just got their heads on straight. Super team chemistry is really high right now. It's going to definitely, this season is definitely one of those seasons where, the team is incredibly enjoyable to be around. They love each other. They work hard for each other. The coaches pour into them. So it's, records are tough in our conference because, somebody's going to probably get close to winning state, in our conference. So it's hard to just get stuck on a number. Hopefully we're going to always sit between 15 wins and 25 wins. You kind of want to figure out how to be in that range. And, we're trying to figure out how to win 20 games. We've lost, I think, 6 games by 1 run. So we're still trying to figure out exactly what that, that perfect formula is to win those close games. But we expect to win a couple more ball games here this week.
All right, you got Belleville East here today in game number 1 of the playoffs. So twofold question, what makes Belleville East so tough, and how are you going to beat them?
They're old, they have a lot of seniors, and I think we're going to see seniors on the mound. So anytime you're facing, senior leadership in a team, they have a chance to lead their team. They're experienced, so they're going to bring experience to the table. They have a kind of a dynamic pitching staff. I think we'll see some righties, some lefties. They have a chance to make some adjustments often because they have different types of pitchers. So we have to be able to adjust. We know what we're going to get early on, so we need to jump on it. We need to be ready. Our offense this year, we're like 30 points. Batting average is higher this year. We're striking out a lot less. We're getting the ball in play. We're stealing a lot of bases. So offensively, we have a good game plan and a good approach. We just need to execute that.
Thanks for the visit, Coach. Good luck out there today.
Todd, appreciate everything you do.
All right, that is Brett Swift, the 5th-year head coach for your Collinsville Kahok baseball team. We'll take a break here on the Chiropractic Works pregame show. When we come back, we'll have starting rosters and stats. All that and more coming up on the Kahok Sports Network.
I'd like to introduce you to some incredible new technology we have available here at Chiropractic Works. The machine is known as an InvisiRed lipolaser machine. The InvisiRed machine emits a red light and red laser that combine in unison to go through the skin layers into the adipose or fat tissue and cause the cells to go ahead and metabolize themselves. The InvisiRed technology is the only machine that's FDA approved for fat loss, stimulates collagen and elastin, improves the function of the lymphatic system, boosts metabolism, and increases metabolic response. Typical response after the very first treatment is 1/2 to 2 inches of loss in body measurement. So if you think that this technology could help you accomplish any weight loss or aesthetic goals, we would be glad to have you come in for a consultation, get a first treatment, and experience the amazing benefits that InvisiRed offers.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Jason Regg, your Benjamin F. Edwards financial advisor, understands this. That's why Jason Regg is a proud supporter of your Collinsville Kahawks and the Kahawk Sports Network, as well as the Kahawk Educator of the Month Award. For all of your investment needs, see Financial Advisor and Investment Vice President Jason Regg at the Benjamin F. Edwards office in Collinsville, located at 1008 Vandalia Street, or call Jason Regg at 618-223-5215 or visit benjaminfedwards.com. Benjamin F. Edwards, member SIPC. Want to catch some of the best live music in Collinsville from a band of all Collinsville area residents? Look no further than Sonically Pleasing. Sonically Pleasing with former Kahawk Logan Carlisle, his dad Tim, along with Caleb Tanzius, play some of the best rock and roll hits from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. You can catch Sonically Pleasing at some of the area's finest venues, as well as book Sonically Pleasing for your private event or party. To put some music in your life, it's Sonically Pleasing. Check out Sonically Pleasing's Facebook page for upcoming live show dates and to book them for your special event or to call to book that event at 618-401-0052. Pleasing live rock music for your ears. Sonically Pleasing, 618-401-0052. Once again, we welcome you back here to Blazer Field in O'Fallon. My name is Todd Duke. Chris Kettler will be joining us here in just a moment. And here are your starting lineups. Tap me on the shoulder if they start playing the national anthem when I'm just talking here. All right, Collinsville will be the visiting team here today, and this is who they will trot out. Carter Harrington will bat first. He'll be your pitcher / DH, so if he gets taken off the mound, he will become the designated hitter. That'll be followed in the lineup by the number 2 man. Playing third base, Henry Sterneman. Adam Bovanet will bat third and play first base. In the cleanup spot is Carson Perrell. He will bat in the number 4 spot and play right field. Luke Robinson back in after that collision on Thursday at Fletcher Field. He will bat 5th and play center field. Will Swip batting 6th and playing left field. Lucas Owen is going to be playing second base and batting 7th. Batting 8th is Grant Darden. He'll be playing shortstop. And Benjamin Tillman is behind the plate doing the catching. And he will be batting 9th. And how about the Belleville East lineup? We have Reed Newmeyer. He'll be leading off and playing left field. Tommy Kramkowski will be pitching and playing, batting second. Grady Davis batting third, playing shortstop. Caden Kagas is the cleanup man. He'll be playing first base and batting 4th. Batting 5th is the catcher Brody Lindeman. Gabe Kashecki is playing third base and batting 6th. Batting 7th is the designated hitter Angus Gartland. Batting in the 8th spot is Luke Monroe. He'll be playing second base, and Jalen Jones rounds out the starting 9 for Belleville East, and he will be playing center field. One more break coming your way, and then we will have opening pitch. All that and more coming up here on the Kahawk Sports Network. Looking for something to get your high school student involved in? Maybe joining the Collinsville Kahawk Trap Team is that something. Created in 2017, the Collinsville Kahawk Trap Team has joined a long line of area schools in one of the fastest growing and safest sports in the country. Trap shooting is a fun, team-oriented outdoor sport that offers friendship, competition, and teamwork, all in a safe and fun environment that encourages students to be part of a team in which they will learn valuable skills and are encouraged to engage in community involvement through volunteering and mentoring. If Collinsville Trap sounds like something your student would be interested in, call Collinsville Trap at 618-795-9893 or visit Collinsville Kahawk Trap on Facebook. Caseyville VFW Post 1117 Auxiliary supports the VFW with post projects and fundraiser events. The Caseyville VFW Auxiliary also provides donations and sponsorship for Veterans in Need, Jefferson Barracks in St. Louis, the Caseyville Food Pantry, outreach programs, summer lunches for students in the Collinsville Unit 10 School District, and now the Kahawk Sports Network. Plus, sponsoring CHS programs like band, theater, and sports. If you would like to provide support or join the Caseyville VFW Auxiliary, contact the Caseyville VFW Post 1117 at 618-344-9878. Is it finally time to start doing what you've been talking about doing for years? Start making those plans right now and let Northwestern Mutual help you plan your future. Former Kahawk Joe Philpott can help you get started with that plan today. Joe Philpott, a financial advisor with Northwestern Mutual, can help build a plan specifically for you with a wide range of financial options and the flexibility to change that plan as your priorities change. To get started on your future, give Joel Philpott a call today at Northwestern Mutual's Fairview Heights office at 618-606-2022. Spend your life living with Northwestern Mutual. Call Joel Philpott today, 618-606-2022. Celebrate the life of your loved one should be as special as the person they represent. That's why you will always find the staff at Her Funeral Home in Collinsville ready to go the extra mile to meet the needs of you and your family during those times. For over 100 years, Her Funeral Home has been there for Collinsville and the surrounding communities. Of the many arrangements made after losing a loved one, the first is the selection of a funeral home. The staff at Her Funeral Home in Collinsville can help with that planning. Call Her Funeral Home in Collinsville at 618-344-0187. Her Funeral Home, serving Collinsville families for over 100 years. 618-344-0187. Once again, we welcome you back here to Blazer Field. Todd Duke, Chris Kettler along with you. Let's get you the starting pitcher, at least the starting pitchers' stats. And starting again for Belleville East is Tommy Kramkowski. He is making his 10th appearance and his 10th start of the year. He is 3-4, and he has a 2.22 earned run average. He has struck out 44, and he's walked 9 on the year. Carter Harrington will be his opposition. He's also appearing in his 10th game, also making his 10th start. He has 2 complete games under his belt this year. He is 2-4 with a 2.39 earned run average, and he has struck out 48 and walked 23. Chris Kettler is on the other microphone. Chris Kettler, you got to listen to the coach's comments. What do you think?
That's always interesting to listen to the coach when you get here towards the end of the year. Just some reflection back on the season there. You know, we know that it's always going to be a tough road throughout the season. There's some losses along the ways, and you hope this team learns forward and they're ready here for the postseason. That they seem real fired up. They know what they got to do, and this is the team you saw last week, so there's not a lot of secrets here, and just going to have to see how things fall here today.
That's true. No telling. Maybe that game would have turned out different if there wasn't that collision out in the outfield, because the next inning they scored 6 times, did Belleville.
I think that really deflated Collinsville.
Oh, yeah.
It really seemed the whole place seemed a lot quieter, and just you never know what would have happened if the collision didn't happen, but it did, and hopefully we can get the win here today. We'll take that one.
Yep. All right, here is Carter Harrington leading things off, batting .312 on the year. 3 home runs on the year for Carter and 16 runs batted in. And the first pitch from Kramkowski is a bit high, and we are underway at 3:58 p.m. So a couple of minutes early as the righty Kramkowski pitches again. High fly ball, but that one's going to go out of play back here behind us. And as you can tell, we are directly behind home plate. Not directly, but we are behind home plate. And we apologize that we can't get right field in your camera view. If we were up in the press box, you wouldn't get to see left field in your camera view because their press box is located down the third base line. Matter of fact, the window that we've live streamed out of before is directly across from the third base bag. It's kind of a weird setup. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count now to Carter Harrington. Harrington, Sterneman, and Bovinet. If anyone can get on, Carson Perrell will get a chance to bat. Next pitch, high pop fly. Going back into the outfield grass is the shortstop Davis, and he will have it for out number 1.
Well, initially, the shortstop's got to survive that transition from the turf to the outfield grass, and then he's got to end up under that, and he was able to make the catch.
Yeah, it's like we've seen over the last couple of days. As far as softball or baseball games go, it's a turf infield and a natural grass outfield. So that transition from that flat turf to the a little tall grass out there is going to be a little bit of a challenge. There's a called strike into Sterneman. And Sterneman on the year is batting. Where is he? Up top there. 433, 7 runs batted in. There's a little short bouncer over to the first baseman, Kagas. And there are 2 away. 3 unassisted on the second put out, and it's up to Adam Bovinet to keep the inning alive. Bovinet on the year comes in batting .372. He also has 3 home runs. He and Carter Harrington lead the team in the home run category. 19 runs batted in for Bovinet. as he digs in from the left side against the righty Kramkowski, and the pitch on the way, and that one stays a little high. Kramkowski's sister hit a inside the park home run yesterday against Collinsville in that game we did for you from Belleville West. Addie Kramkowski. There's a pitch that goes outside, and ahead in the count is Bovenet. 2-0. Lots of folks have made the trip here. This is a pretty packed grandstand here behind us.
Yep, school's out.
Yeah.
Most
Next
people
pitch
filing in.
from Kramkowski. A big swing and a miss there by Bovenet. 2-1 the count to the Kahok first baseman, senior Adam Bovenet. Nice, good sunshiny day. Temperatures right around 74 degrees. A little bit of a breeze blowing around, but nothing that can't be handled. Here's a chance for the second baseman, Luke Monroe. He'll throw over to first base, and the first inning comes to a close. Belleville East will have their first at bat when we come back from a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision.
Collinsville goes down in order 1, 2, 3. And now it is time for Belleville East to come to the plate for the first time. They will send up Reed Newmeyer, Tommy Kramkowski, Grady Davis, and if anyone can get on, Caden Kagas will have a chance to bat. And the defense for Collinsville, I forgot to give you the Belleville East defense. We'll do that next half inning. Will Swip is in left field. Luke Robinson is in center. Carson Perrell out in right field. Henry Sterneman at the hot corner at third base. Grant Darden is at shortstop. Lucas Owen at second. Adam Bovenet at first. And Carter Harrington on the hill pitching to Benjamin Tillman as Reed Newmeyer makes his way to the plate. Newmeyer on the year batting .353. 31 runs batted in. That is tops for his team. And he has a couple of home runs on the year, does Newmeyer. He'll step in from the left side. Kramkowski waits on deck. Carter Harrington on the hill. He's ready to go. And the first pitch from Harrington to the first batter for Belleville East on the way. And that one's a bit outside. Ball one. Strike one, excuse me.
Yeah, Harrington didn't pitch against Belleville East last week when they faced him. The Kahawks held him out for this game.
Yep. Here's the next pitch, swinging a foul ball out of play. They also, I think, did not play him at third base in the final game at Marion as well, so I think they were just trying to save his arm the best that they could. He was the DH for that game.
Yeah, they also did that in another game, I believe, the last Belleville East game.
High, chopping bounder. That one's going to be tough, and there's going to be probably no way for Grant Darden at shortstop to get Newmeyer anyway, so we're going to go ahead and give him a base hit on that one. And the leadoff man for Belleville East reaches base to become the first base runner of this contest.
Crazy turf bounce there. It didn't hit it very far, but it bounced up way high, so high that Darden never had a chance.
Nope. Here is Kramkowski batting .374 on the year with 27 runs batted in, and he'll take one outside, ball one. And leading off over there is Reed Newmeyer. Newmeyer on the year has stolen 13 bases, so he is a threat to run. He'll get his lead, and a throw over there by Harrington, and Newmeyer is back in there safely.
Leadoff runner on for East, that's dangerous.
Yep.
Harrington keeping an eye on him.
That he is. Harrington will bluff a throw over to first base this time. Has to peer over his left shoulder, does Harrington, to check on his runner. And right now it appears Newmeyer staying a little close to first base. Widens that lead just a bit, and throw and a swing and a miss on a big fastball there to Tommy Kramkowski, the opposing pitcher. Collinsville looking for the double play ball. They have turned 12 double plays on the year, have the Kahawks. Harrington's ready, and the next pitch, that's a little high.
A little high, but not a lot high. Didn't really need ducking out of that one.
I think it fooled him. It was a curveball that started at his head and then came inside. 2-1 the count to Kramkowski. Harrington works from the stretch, checks on his runner, and brings the next one home. That one's inside, but called the ball, so 3-1 the count now to the Belleville East pitcher Tommy Kramkowski. Harrington checks on his runner. And the next pitch. Ooh, that one looked pretty good. Maybe a little low, and a walk will put the first 2 runners on here for Belleville East. Newmeyer will trot down to second. Kramkowski over at first base. We'll see if they leave him out there or give him a courtesy runner. Yep, that's what I thought.
I'm going to bring in a runner here. This is 19. What you gave me doesn't have a 19.
Nope. And I didn't hear what the booth announcer said either, so we don't really know who it is. Sometimes they wear different numbers with their road uniforms and their home uniforms. They're wearing their home uniforms today, all white for the Lancers. They have the sky blue in cursive Lancers written across the front. Numbers are also in sky blue. Collinsville out there in their lavender jerseys, kind of, with the darker purple numbers on the fronts and the backs. And bunting down the third base line. And Sterneman has to eat it up. He didn't have anybody. Grant Darden never went over to third base because he was covering second base in case there was a play there. So Sterneman kind of eats that up. That's a fielder's choice, and the first 3 men have reached here for Belleville East. Nobody out, and the bases loaded here for the Lancers. And here comes their cleanup hitter, Caden Kagas. Kagas on the year batting .343, 16 runs batted in, 1 home run. So a dangerous first inning start here for Carter Harrington and the Collinsville Kahawks.
Yeah, interesting there for East. Have their 3-hitter bunting there and works out as he reaches base.
Yep. And the pitch from Harrington. Swinging a shot to center field on the move. That is the center fielder Luke Robinson. Not tagging from third base was Newmeyer. So that's a big out right there because now a double play can end the inning for you.
He did tag up, and then he did take a couple steps, but wasn't going to risk it and take the second out of the inning at home plate.
Here is Brody Lindeman batting .349 on the year, 21 runs batted in. He'll step in from the right side. Harrington needs a nice double play ball to get out of this inning. Harrington, bases full of Lancers, pitches in the dirt, well, in the turf, almost. It was a low one, that's for sure. Tillman took care of it, but it was too low. So ball 1 to Lindeman. Harrington shakes off one. He accepts the next one. Looking at his runner at third base, here comes the pitch. Swinging a chance for a double play. Shortstop, Darden, underhand, second, over to first, out! And Collinsville gets out of a bases loaded, nobody out inning. As the Belleville East Lancers couldn't score, Collinsville will come up to bat in the top of the second inning, and we'll be back to tell you all about it here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Do you have a big land improvement project that requires some outside help? Call Petroff Trucking Company. The Petroff Companies have been shaping the metro area since 1975. Family owned and operated, Petroff Trucking Company can do the job and do it right. Hauling, excavating, and grading, they do that and more. Petroff Companies also has roll-off dumpster rentals. They also specialize in dirt and rock sales. Petroff Trucking Company can help you develop your land for your needs. Petroff Trucking Company. Check out their website, petrofftrucking.com, or give them a call, 618-797-6100. Petroff Trucking Company, shaping the metro area since 1975.
Back here at Blazer Field in O'Fallon, the old 6-4-3 double play got Collinsville out of a bases loaded situation. Was bases loaded, nobody out. Then a fly out to center field, got the first one, and that was a big double play there, Chris Kettler, and we'll see if that can give the Kahawks some momentum coming up to the plate here in the second.
Yeah, you're just one pitch away from maybe a disastrous inning if Belleville East ends up cranking one there with their 4 or 5 hitters coming up, but Belleville East played it conservatively after the flyout, didn't try to get the one run in, tried to still play for the big inning, but ends up with a double play.
Carson Perro will lead things off here, the cleanup hitter for Collinsville, batting .389 on the year, 25 runs batted in, 1 home run. And it'll be the middle of the lineup. Carson Perro, Luke Robinson, and Will Swip will make it to the plate here in this top of the second inning. Kramkowski's first pitch in the new inning. It's a little high. Ball 1.
Perril's kind of bounced around in some different spots in the lineup this year. He's led off, bat second. Now he's down here in the 4-hole.
Kramkowski peers over that glove. The big, tall righty fires, and that one hits the outside corner for a called strike, 1-1. And the next pitch from Kramkowski to Perrell is on the way, and outside he reached for it, and that's strike 2. He wishes he wouldn't have done that.
Bottom drops out of that one. Nobody's home.
Yeah. 375 to straightaway center field here at this park. 320 down the third base line. There is no signage out there for the first base line. I'm going to guess it's probably about the same, if not a little shorter,
It's
maybe
probably
318, 315.
Yeah, it's probably pretty short because the road is right there.
Yeah. Here comes the 2-2. Swinging a high foul ball. That's going to go out of play back behind the Kahawks dugout. And the count remains 2-2. No signage for the power alleys either. At least from where I'm sitting, I can't see anything. Just the two signs, 375 center and 320 down the third baseline. I'll give you that Lancer defense here after this next pitch. And Perrell looks at one outside, full count. Reed Newmeyer is in left field. Logan Faust in center. Jalen Jones is in right field. Gabe Koshecki at third base. Grady Davis at short. Luke Monroe at second. Caden Kagas is at first base. And Tommy Kramkowski is pitching to Brody Lindeman. And here comes the 3-2 pitch. Oh, boy. Little off-speed pitch, and that totally fooled Perrell. And he becomes the first strikeout victim of Kramkowski here today.
No, now you're seeing it. Maybe make that adjustment the next time you come back around.
Yep. That will bring up Luke Robinson. Robinson making it back from that injury Thursday against Belleville East. Robinson on the year batting .313 with 9 runs batted in, and there's a chance for the second baseman Monroe. He got it, ranged out to his left, and once it hit his glove, you knew that was going to be an out. 4-3 on the second out of the inning, and Collinsville has gone down in order. Their first 5 batters, so it's up to Will Swift to keep this inning going. And the coach's son comes in batting .264, couple of home runs, 14 runs batted in.
I think he had a home run Saturday in Marion.
Yeah, and he offers that pitch outside and couldn't hold up in time. Strike 1.
He's trying to follow that game down in River Country because nothing to do. It was raining all weekend.
Yeah, strike 2. Right down the middle. This time Swift didn't offer. So now Kramkowski working ahead in the count. Fires, and that one's a little high. Ball 1. 1-2 to Will Swift.
He worked a little too quick there. He had the first 2 strikes and fired that one high.
Kramkowski does work quickly. Here's the next pitch. Swinging a chance for the third baseman. He dives, makes the catch, does Koshecki, throws in time for out number 3, and Collinsville for the second inning in a row goes down 1-2-3. We will head now to the home half of the second inning, and the Lancers will get their second turn checking out Carter Harrington, and we'll tell you all about it after we break here on the Kahawk Sports Network.
Hi, Purple and White fans. This is Dan Mode, class of 1989. I'm with New American Funding. Myself and New American Funding are proud sponsors of Kahawk Athletics. As we have great coaches at CHS on all the courts, fields, and tracks, we like to coach you through the home buying process and refinance process. If there's ever anything we can do, I can be reached at 618-973-5343 or www.danmodeloans.com. Let's support our student athletes at CHS. They deserve the best. Thank you for your time, and go Kahawks.
Back here at Blazer Field in O'Fallon, Todd Duke is my name. On the other microphone, the one, the only, Hall of Famer, Chris Kettler.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, you know I'm never going to stop saying that, right? Here is Gabe Koshecki. Koshecki will be the leadoff man here in this inning. He batting .235 on the year, 6 runs batted in. And Harrington pitches, and I think that hit him. Did it?
No,
it didn't.
Just missed it.
Yeah.
Shecky goes diving out of that one.
Thought it might have got a piece of the sleeve. which does count, even if it doesn't make contact to the body. If it hits any part of your uniform, you are given first base.
He's got that protector thing on his.
Oh, that one does hit him.
That hit him.
Carter Harrington puts the leadoff guy on for the second inning in a row, and now it'll bring up Angus Gartland. Gartland is the DH, and Gartland batting .364 on the year. 1 home run, 5 runs batted in. And once again, Harrington will have to pitch out of the stretch. Shakes off the first offering from Tillman, says yes to the next, and from the stretch, checks on his runner, who Gartland is turning around to bunt, pulls it back, and takes a strike.
Sterneman got all the way up in there, coming in from third base. He's just about 4 or 5 steps away from home plate.
Yeah, right now he's about 4 or 5 steps in on the green part of the turf. And the pitch, and this time not showing bunt, is Gartland, and he takes one outside, 1-1.
Gartland was one they didn't have in the lineup on
No, they did not.
Thursday, I recall.
No, they had Nasir Ferris in the lineup instead. Here's the next pitch from Harrington, and that one is low and inside, ball 2. Harrington benefited from a double play to end the first inning. He'd like another one of those right here. As Sterneman's still coming in from third base, swinging a shot. That's going to go out, and a catch by Owens out in center field. He was on his knees by the time that ball hit his glove, and that's a big out there for Collinsville. A couple of nice plays out in center field by Luke Robinson.
Yeah, the ball stayed real low off the bat there. It was a hanger there, but it stayed real low off the bat. Robinson did enough to get in on that one, but had to dive down a little bit to make it.
Luke Monroe bats next as a throw over to first base. Back in time is Kashecki. 237 Monroe's batting on the year. 3 runs batted in. And Harrington from the stretch checks on his runner again, and a bunt. That's going to go right back to Harrington. His play is going to be to first base, and it's in time for out number 2. Runner advances.
I'll take that. Go take the second out with the number 9 batter coming up.
That'll bring up Jalen Jones. Jones on the year, batting .274 with 10 runs batted in. He has a man in scoring position. Reed Newmeyer, the leadoff batter for Belleville East, waits in the on-deck circle. They do have those here. That's a nice off-speed pitch there that hits the inside corner, called strike. Runner at second, 2 outs. Harrington checks on his runner at second base and brings the pitch home. Swing and another chance for Luke Robinson, and he almost ran in too far for that one, but he stops in time, makes a little bit of a leap, and snags out number 3, and that will end the second inning. Collinsville will come up to bat in the top of the third inning, and we'll be back to tell you all about the Kahawks next at bat when we come back from a timeout here on the Kahawk Sports Network.
The Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been a proud supporter of KahawkSports.com and the Kahawk Sports Network from day one. Since 1934, the Junior Service Club of Collinsville has been providing women in the community an opportunity to make a difference with fundraisers and projects, all that go towards helping the needy in Collinsville. If you would like any information on any event sponsored by the Collinsville Junior Service Club, head to Facebook, type in Collinsville Junior Service Club, and then click on the event tab. We thank the Collinsville Junior Service Club for their continued support of the Kahawk Sports Network and KahawkSports.com. Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipSt.Louis.com or call Pack Mail at 346-4884.
Well, the Kahawks have gone down in order in the first 2 innings, so that means we start the third inning with the 7, 8, and 9 batters. Lucas Owen, Grant Darden, And Benjamin Tillman will bat here in this inning. If anyone can get on, back to the top of the spot. And Carter Harrington will have a chance to bat. But first, it'll be Lucas Owen coming in batting .233 on the year with 7 runs batted in to face Tommy Kramkowski. Having this first game start at 4 o'clock means that the Shadows right now are just covering first base. But as the sun goes farther down into the west, those shadows will creep over the entire infield. Kramkowski's ready. Here's the first pitch of the third inning, and a little off-speed delivery right down the middle. Owen offered at it. Would have been a strike anyway, so 0-1. To start Owen off is Kramkowski. He's ready to go again. Here's the pitch, swinging a little foul tip that goes back to the screen. So Kramkowski ahead of the Collinsville second baseman Lucas Owen, 0-2.
He's been ahead of just about everybody so far.
Yeah, there's a reason he got the start in the first playoff game of the year, and he's showing every bit of the reason why. Carter Harrington keeping up with him, but now without some turbulence. That one bounces on the outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Owen. And the next pitch from Kramkowski on the way. That one stays outside as well. Kramkowski knows what he's doing, trying to go on that outside corner. He knows that people will fish and miss, so he'll do that quite often. 2-2 the count to Owen. Next pitch from Kramkowski, swinging a foul ball, keep him alive.
Just got a piece of that one.
Yeah.
It's almost in the catcher's glove.
Grant Darden waits on deck. Right now, Lucas Owen trying to become the first Kahok base runner of the afternoon. Kramkowski, he pitches. And that one stays outside, full count. Kramkowski doesn't walk a lot, man. 44 strikeouts, only 9 walks on the year. And the pitch, and a swing and a miss. He took a little off of that one. The bottom dropped right out. And Owen swung right over the top of it for the first out, and that's the second strikeout on the afternoon for Kramkowski, who came in with 34 2/3 of an inning pitched. And the new batter, Grant Darden, he is up there batting .269 with 8 runs batted in on the year as the Collinsville shortstop. And the next pitch, high fly ball out to right field. Jalen Jones on the move, and he has it for out number 2.
Just some weak contact there. That's not a hard one to come in and catch in right field.
And bring up Benjamin Tillman. Tillman on the year, 12 runs batted in, batting .231 on the season. Carter Harrington, the leadoff guy for Collinsville, waits in the on-deck circle. Kramkowski trying to get through the first 9 with no base runners. Here's a pitch. That one bounced in front of home plate, but Tillman swung at it anyway.
Yeah, that bounced like at the edge of the green of the turf.
Yeah, almost.
I don't know how he swung through that one.
Would have been something if he would have made contact after the bounce, huh? That one's high. That'll even things out at 1-1. I've seen that happen before. Little skip pitch, and
yeah, well, it could bounce off his turf. You never know.
Yeah.
Now he wants a new ball. And
the umpire needs some more as well.
Doesn't have any.
He'll put that one back in his pocket, so depending on what happens, Kramkowski can get that same ball back. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Tillman. Outside. Ball 2. 2-1. Zach Roseman has made his way from his job to the ballpark. Oh, that one looked good. A little off-speed delivery, hit the outside corner, 2-2 the count.
Yeah, that one just dropped in there, gave it up on that one. I was ready to give up on it too.
Kramkowski, you ready? Pitch, outside, full count. Tommy Kramkowski peers over his glove. Here's the payoff. And called strike 3 on the outside corner. That was tough to swing at and to take all at the same time.
Perfect
Third
spot.
strikeout, yeah, it was. Third strikeout on the afternoon for Kramkowski. 2 in the inning. And Kramkowski gets through the order with no base runners allowed. We'll go now to the bottom of the third inning. Back to tell you all about it when we come back from a break here on the Kahok Sports Network.
The Collinsville Education Association is a proud supporter of KahokSports.com and the Kahok Sports Network. The CEA is your partner as they work to ensure quality education for our children. The CEA advocates excellence and equity in public education and represent over 400 educators in 11 schools in both Madison and St. Clair counties. For more information, you can visit the Collinsville Education Association's Facebook page or the CEA's website at collinsvillecea.org. Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our Kahawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a Kahawk, always a Kahawk. Hashtag Kahawk Family.
Todd Duke, Chris Keller back with you. Bottom of the third. And back to the top of the order here for Belleville East for the third inning of work for Carter Harrington. Harrington's allowed one hit. The defense bailed him out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam in the first. And Belleville East has left 3 base runners on here in this contest. Reed Newmeyer has the only hit of this game. He led off this bottom of the first with a base hit and then was left over at third base. And that inning-ending double play. Harrington's ready, and that one's in there for a called strike. Starts him off with a little off-speed delivery. Newmeyer, Kramkowski, and Davis here in the bottom of the third inning for Belleville East. Harrington, he pitches. Him and Kramkowski are about the same height, it looks like to me. I think Kramkowski has a few more pounds on his frame than does Harrington.
Yeah, Kramkowski is kind of deceivingly how tall he is.
Pitch from Harrington, swinging a high foul ball that's going to get out of play. Just past the press box into the little picnic area down the third base line.
Works ahead here, gets the second strike. He's going to put away Newmeyer here.
Be nice not to have the leadoff man on. Leadoff man made it on in both the bottom of the first and the second for the Lancers. Here's the 1-2. Ooh, where was that?
Tough for me to see from my spot.
2-2 the count to the left fielder, Reed Newmeyer. Harrington, he pitches. That one stays high, full count. Harrington works a little bit more deliberately than does Kramkowski. Kramkowski doesn't waste any time. Harrington a little bit more patient in his delivery. 3-2 pitch to Newmeyer on the way, and that one's outside, so the leadoff man is on in every inning so far here for the Lancers. Second walk issued by Harrington.
Hit on that one. Fourth pitch was a real close one, and then third one was high, and after that he lost him.
Here is Tommy Kramkowski, the pitcher who received the first walk by Harrington. So a runner on at first base. Newmeyer will get his lead once again. Did not try to steal the last time he was out there and stays put. That one hits the inside corner to Kramkowski for a called strike.
That's about the same spot that 1-2 pitch was to Newmeyer. Didn't get that call, but gets it here against the right-handed batter.
And a quick throw over, and Movanet had to reach to the skies to snag that high throw. And now Harrington ready to go with the 0-1. Here it comes. Outside, 1-1. 3 umpires in the playoffs instead of the usual 2. Fielding umpire right behind Harrington and the first base umpire. Stationed over there behind Bovanet. Swing and a miss off speed. That bottom dropped right out of that one. And once again, Harrington ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kramkowski. Had the same 1-2 count on Newmeyer, but lost him. Another throw. Ooh. That was real close because the ball hit the glove as Bovanet had to reach out for it, and it went on the same side that Newmeyer was coming back on. That was real close.
It's almost super perfect that he can catch it kind of as Newmeyer's coming back to the bag.
Yeah. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes will go Kramkowski. Tillman couldn't hold on to the ball. Newmeyer couldn't advance because there was already a runner down at second base, but Newmeyer goes down to second base on the passed ball. First strikeout of the game for Harrington.
Nowhere for Kramkowski to go on that one with the base occupied, but Newmeyer does make it down there.
Huh. And here is Grady Davis, and Davis looks at one right down the middle. Davis reached on a fielder's choice and was the beginning of that 6-4-3 double play that ended the first. He was the 6-4 part. So he starts ahead of Davis as well. Runner at second base, 1 out. Harrington checks and pitches, and the floater stays high. One and one, 1 out, runner on, second base, no score, bottom of the third. 4A regional semifinal here between Collinsville and Belleville East. Harrington brings the next one home. That one's inside.
It slips off the mound.
Yeah, he did. That's sometimes the problem with these turf fields, especially the landing spot gets a little worn out. And then you have nothing but that black rubber area of the ground up tires that are part of all these turf fields. 2-1 the count.
That's a spot that probably needs yearly treatment, and by the end of the season, it's wore down.
That one's just a little bit high. Right across the cursive Lancers lettering on the jersey, but just a little bit too high. Inch lower, that probably would have been a strike. 3-1 the count to Grady Davis, the shortstop for Belleville East. And the pitch. Swinging a high fly ball. Luke Robinson underneath it and has it for out number 2. He'll throw the ball in, and back in over at second base is Newmeyer, 2 away.
Yep, got in under that one there. Easy pop up to center.
There is Caden Kagas, who
this blue bat he's got
was the first out of that first inning after a bases loaded situation. He became the first out on a fly out to Luke Robinson. That last catch there by Robinson was probably the easiest of the 2 he's made so far. Actually 3. Pitch, inside corner, called strike 1.
See, that's the same spot that the third strike should have been to Newmeyer there. He's gotten that call against right-handed batters, but just didn't get it against Newmeyer, the left-handed batter.
Yeah, off-speed pitch, and that one was almost a strike. If it would have stayed just a little bit higher, probably would have been. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. 2 outs in the inning, and a runner over at second base for Harrington to deal with. Harrington. And Tillman called for a pitch or a throw over to second base. Harrington just twirls but did not throw.
Yeah, he signaled late for him to just go ahead and do that. Look the runner back at second. Don't throw it.
1-1 does the same thing again. Twirls but does not throw. Bottom of the third, no score between Collinsville and Belleville East. Harrington checks on Newmeyer and brings the next pitch home. And that one's inside at the knees. 2-1 the count to Caden Kagas. Harrington working from the stretch a lot here in this game. There's been a base runner on in every inning for Belleville East. That's an off-speed pitch that Never quite broke well enough over the corner of the plate. Kahok fans don't like the call. 3-1 the count to the Lancers' first baseman. Yeah, it did. Harrington trying to shake it off. Get ready for the next delivery. Here comes the 3-1. Swinging a shot down the third base line, but that is foul. Started off fair, but by the time it reached over the third base bag, it was on the wrong side of the bag over there. So a foul ball will make it a full count now to Kagas.
What gone over the bag fair? Will easily score Newmeyer.
Yeah, he was waving him in, was Wiggs. He was ready to go. 3-2, 2 outs, runner at second. Here's the next pitch. Swinging a pop fly. That's going to stay in the ballpark in foul territory is Bovenet, and he'll have it for the out. And the inning comes to a close. Another runner stranded for Belleville East. That's 4 on the day for the Lancers. We will head now to the top of the 4th inning. No score between Collinsville and Belleville East. We'll be back here after a timeout on the Kahok Sports Network.
Just because we're adults doesn't mean we don't have toys, am I right? If your adult toys consist of boats, campers, or RVs, then you need to call the GASA storage team of professionals. Winter weather in the Midwest can be quite harsh, and finding a place to properly store those expensive toys for winter can be just as rough as a Midwest winter. That's where the GASA storage team comes in, with outdoor self-storage and covered storage for your toys. They even have tractor-trailer parking, conveniently located at Horseshoe Lake Road and 111 in Pontoon Beach. GASA Storage, for the safe storage of all of your toys. Contact the GASA Storage team, gasastorage@gmail.com, or call today, GASA Storage Team, 618-797-6100.
Back here at Blazer Field, Collinsville coming to the plate in the 4th inning. And the Kahawks have gone down in order. 9 batters and 9 outs. They are looking for their first base runner, and we'll see if Carter Harrington can become that. As we go back to the top of the order, Harrington, Sterneman, and Bovenet here to face Kramkowski. My name is Todd Duke. Chris Kettler on the other microphone. We're ready to get the 4th inning underway. Swinging a high fly ball. On the move is Newmeyer out in left field. He waits underneath it and has it for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Second time through the lineup, these Kahawks, see what kind of adjustments they can make on Kramkowski. Harrington goes after the first pitch, can't do anything with that one.
Yep, Harrington popped up to the shortstop. Davis, his first time up, gets this one a little farther and still results in an out. Here is Sterneman, who grounded out to the first baseman, Caden Kagas, unassisted in his first at bat. Takes one for a called strike. Kramkowski, he's ready to go with the next delivery. Here it comes, swinging a high fly ball. On the move, Jalen Jones out in right field. He has it, and 2 quick outs here to start off the 4th inning for Collinsville.
Reaches his bat out there, pops it up out to right. 3 pitches, 2 outs.
Yep. So it's up to Adam Bovenet to keep this inning alive. He may want to take a couple of pitches just to give Harrington a little time to rest. Harrington already batted in this inning, so he's probably back in the dugout trying to get his stuff together to pitch the next inning. But Bovenet, he's not taking. He went after that first pitch like he was going to send it over there to Subway.
Yeah, he's not going to be deliberate up there. He's one he likes. Bovenet's usually swinging.
Bovenet grounded out to the second baseman, Monroe, his first time up. As Kramkowski's ready, and the pitch is in the turf. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. What do you do, lose a contact? No. The home plate's made of turf also. It's not the traditional hard home plate that you see at all other ballparks. It is also made of turf. Swing and a miss by Bovenet, and he's in a 1-2 hole.
I don't think that was like the Grizzlies or SIU.
No.
I think it's just a plate.
Yeah, it's just white turf. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Bovenet. Kramkowski's ready. Here's the pitch, and that one's in. Bounces right in front of that fake white home plate area. 2-2. Nobody on. 2 outs, 2-2 pitch on the way. Swinging a foul ball down the first baseline.
Really see how far up in the box he is because the box survives more than an inning with it being turf instead of the chalk that only lasts about an inning and a half in any regular game.
Yeah, he steps right on that back line, doesn't he? Here's another 2-2. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Bovenet. And Collinsville still looking for their first base runner in this game, and that becomes the 4th strikeout on the afternoon for Kramkowski. And we will head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Still no score between, why did that switch? Okay, now we're going to go bottom of the 4th. Okay, let's do that one more time. Now we got it on the scoreboard the right way. We're back in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville produces their own spirits and beer on site right at the restaurant. Pair that with some of the most unique menu items around the entire metro area, and you can see why they are such a hit. They can handle you and your family, or they can handle you and your group. Throw in the occasional live entertainment, and you can see why Old Herald Brewery and Distillery is a must-stop destination in Collinsville. Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, 115 East Clay Street in Collinsville, 618-855-8027, or online at oldheraldbrewing.com.
It's probably the largest purchase you'll ever make. We have 5 agents on our team.
We cover about an hour radius around St. Louis.
We grew up here. We know every town like the back of our hands.
Our job as realtors is helping someone find their dream home, whether it's a family or an individual. We just want to do everything that we can to keep the process as simple and as stress-free as possible for you.
The Blaylock Group, the official realtors of the Kahok Sports Network and Kahok Athletics.
Lancer catcher Brody Lindemann leads things off here and looks at one over the outside corner for a called strike. And the bottom of the 4th inning is underway. Todd Duke, Chris Kettler back with you. No score between Collinsville and Belleville East. Collinsville still looking for their first base runner. Belleville East has stranded 4 already, and there's a high pop fly going into foul territory, and Bovenet calls everybody off. He'll make the catch. And that is 2 outs in a row on pop-up foul balls to Bovenet. Ended the last inning like that and begins the next inning with the same thing.
First time Harrington's got the leadoff batter out in the inning.
Yep.
First 3 innings have been a little bit adventurous, especially that first inning.
Swinging another foul ball. This one's heading all the way down the first baseline, and it's going to land over the fence. Just a long strike.
Harold's looking for it, gave it his all, got to the edge of the fencing there, but it ball's too far out.
That's off the bat of Gabe Koshecki, who was hit by a pitch. Lindemann, by the way, he was the one who grounded into that inning-ending 6-4-3 double play back in the first. So he's had an uneventful day at the plate. Here is Koshecki. And the pitch from Harrington, a pop fly. This one's going to stay in the park if anyone could get there. And it just hits the bottom of the fence out there halfway between first base and right field. So that was a long way to go for both Bovenet and Peril, and neither one of them could get there. That ball didn't stay up in the air as long as the one from Koshecki earlier in the at-bat did.
Get both balls back in now.
Yeah. 0-2 now the count to Koshecki. Angus Gartland, the DH, waits on deck. Harrington. He's ready to go, and the 0-2 on the way. Swinging a shot right off of Harrington. It'll roll. Harrington will tag the runner out before he makes it down to first base, and they're going to go check on Harrington because that one hit him in the hip, it looks like.
He perfectly had himself turned around, so it maybe the back, maybe the hip, maybe the upper buttocks region, maybe. Should be all right. After some of the adrenaline comes down, he's going to say, hey, let's hold on here. Let's see how you are for real.
Yeah, that looked like it hit him just right under the hip over on his left side, or his right side. Yeah, right side. So he'll make sure he can move okay.
Yeah, throw a pitch or two here, see
Yeah.
how that looks.
Fans give him a nice round of applause. Last thing the Kahok fans want to see is another injured player. Umpire is going to oblige and let him throw a couple of pitches, making sure all body parts are working okay. Swift still talking to him as he takes these warm-up throws. And there you go. I think once he throws a strike, he's like, I'm okay now. All right, he's ready to go. He'll get another round of applause here from the Kahok faithful as Angus Gartland comes up to the plate. 2 away, no one on. And the Lancers' designated hitter lined out to Luke Robinson out in center field back in the second inning. Robinson's been the busiest player of all out there for Collinsville's defense. Harrington's ready, and the pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball. Sterneman has to wait for it. Gloves it, throws in time. Out number 3. And the 4th inning comes to a close. No one can seem to put any runners across the plate here. And we will head to a brand new inning, top of the 5th. That's what comes your way next when we come back from a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network.
The Old Herald Brewery and Distillery in Collinsville presents the Sports Page Lounge. Come check out Collinsville's newest destination for your sports viewing pleasure. The Sports Page Lounge features a 14-foot 9-screen video wall with games across the spectrum, from college football and basketball to the NFL, NHL, Major League Baseball, and NBA. Pair that with tastefully crafted libations from the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery, and you have the perfect atmosphere for your sports viewing pleasure. The Sports Page Lounge, next to the Old Herald Brewery and Distillery at 115 Clay Street in Collinsville. Call 618-855-8027 for more information. The Sports Page Lounge, a new experience for sports lovers in Collinsville. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville is a T3 certified tire dealer and so much more. Sure, Mike's Automotive has tires. They can also help with making sure your entire vehicle is road ready, from belts and hoses to preventative maintenance like oil changes and tire rotation. Plus a lot more than that. Mike's Automotive has 3 locations to choose from. Mike's Automotive in St. Louis and Millstadt, and Mike's Automotive in Collinsville at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call Mike's Automotive at 618-345-0611. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville.
Middle of the order coming up here in the top of the 5th inning for Collinsville. Carson Perrell will lead things off, followed by Luke Robinson and Will Swift. If anyone can get on, Lucas Owen will have a chance to face Tommy Kramkowski. Kramkowski, he has retired every batter he's faced so far, and right now has a no-hitter going.
And that's a perfect game, right?
Yeah, no walks, 4 strikeouts. And the first pitch into Perrell is a ball, and the next one is a called strike on the inside corner, 1-1. Kramkowski gave up 3 runs in that game Thursday over at Fletcher Field in the first inning. Not so today, as that one stays a little too high. 2-1 the count to Carson Perrell, who got caught looking at a 3rd strike to lead off the 2nd inning. Now here he is leading off the 5th. Kramkowski, he pitches. That one's in there for a strike, 2-2. Well, Fallon and Alton have the next game here. As Kramkowski's ready. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes for the second at bat in a row is Carson Perrell. 5th strikeout of the game for Kramkowski.
Whole bat, yeah, he just didn't like the pitch before that, and then I think he just said, I'm going to swing wherever this one ends up.
Luke Robinson steps in from the left side, grounded out to Luke Monroe, the second baseman for the Lancers, and his at bat in the second, and looks at one outside for a ball. Next pitch by Kramkowski. Misses outside as well, 2-0. Well, Fallon and Alton have next game. Winner of this game and the winner of that game will face each other Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock for a regional championship. There's a pitch that's too low, 3-0. It is like one of the only Saturday regional championship games that is a 3 p.m. start instead of an 11 a.m. start from what I can see. Will Collinsville get their first base runner? I'm sure Robinson's taken all the way. Here's the 3-0. He did and took a strike.
A few 3-ball counts, but Gronkowski's come back with strikeouts each time. First 3-0 count.
Here's a 3-1 pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball. That's to the first baseman, and he'll have it and step on the bag for out number 2.
With that in one motion.
Yep.
Foot in the bag and grab the ball.
Yeah, that ball kind of took a little bit of a hop to the left. And Kagas takes care of business. 2 away. And here is Will Swip. Swip grounded out to the third baseman. Koshecki, his first time up. Ramkowski's ready, and the pitch to Swip. Swing and a miss on an outside delivery. Lucas Owen waits on deck. Will he get a chance to bat? Collinsville looking for their first base runner here in this game. Here's the pitch. Swip swings, hits the ball hard. That's going toward the gap, and that's going to bounce off the fence. Collinsville has their first hit, and it's going to be a stand-up double by Will Swip.
They just had a little wind blowing out. That might have got out of here.
I know, right?
There's a drive by Will Swip. Puts it perfectly in the gap. A good adjustment after the first pitch. The Cayoks are in business.
That they are. That'll bring up Lucas Owen with an RBI opportunity. Owen has 7 runs batted in on the year. Number 8 would be huge.
Let's see what coach is thinking here. Maybe a runner here for Swip. Put a little more speed on since 1 run could be huge.
Yeah. I would choose, well, they're going to bring out Cal Swartz. Swartz on the year has 2 stolen bases, caught once. I was thinking they're going to bring out Frierson. I don't remember seeing him here today, though, but I mean, I wasn't really looking for him, but.
I think he was out there taking
okay.
practice. But, Swartz is a long-legged individual.
Yes, he is.
See if he can get
yes,
moving.
he is. There's the pitch and a pop-up that's going to go foul off of the bat of Lucas Owen, who was a strikeout victim his first time up. So Collinsville breaks up the perfect game and the no-hitter on a Will Swip double. Simple little base hit here by Owen could score Swartz, and that pitch goes outside.
Swip can re-enter in the bottom of the inning and go back out to left field.
We're in the top of the 5th. Collinsville has their first base runner. And the pitch outside. He offered at it, says the umpire. So 1-2 the count now to Lucas Owen. First 14 batters came to the plate for Collinsville, could not find a way on. But the 15th guy, Will Swip, laced a double out to right center field. And the pitch, and that one's just a little high. Kramkowski thought he had a strikeout.
Lindemann brought it back down on the catch. It was a high pitch.
Yep. 2-2 the count to Owen. 2 away, runner at second for Collinsville. Kramkowski working from the stretch for the first time this afternoon. Pitches, that one's outside, ball 3. Grant Darden, the shortstop, waits on deck for Collinsville.
So Gronkowski's only walked 9 in 34-plus innings pitched.
Three and two the count. Checks on Swartz at second. Checks on him again, and here comes the payoff pitch. Oh, it took a little off. Big swing and a miss there by Lucas Owen, and that'll end the inning. But Collinsville does pick up their first hit. They'll strand their first runner also, and we will head to the bottom of the 5th inning, and no score between Collinsville and Belleville East. We are back in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Keep your ride shiny and clean with Extreme Details Vehicle Detailing in Collinsville. Owner Jay Merkel and his crew at Extreme Details believe in the value of community and in helping their community hold the value of their vehicles with a sharp-looking, clean ride that you and your community can be proud of. Extreme Details can handle any job, whether you drive a small car, an SUV, or even a bus or RV. No job is too big or too small at Extreme Details. Extreme Details offers scratch and oxidation removal, no matter what you drive: cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, and more. Plus, Extreme Details can handle fleet vehicles for you and your company. Call Jay and the gang at Extreme Details at 618-977-1224. Check for periodic specials on the Extreme Details Facebook page. Put the shine in your ride with Extreme Details, 618-977-1224.
Back here at Blazer Field in O'Fallon, Todd Duke, Chris Kettler with you. Bottom of the 5th is where we are. This game is moving right along. Been underway for just about an hour. 3:58 first pitch, 4:58 it is right now. And Belleville East will send the bottom 2 guys in the order to the plate. Luke Monroe, Jalen Jones back to the top of the order, and Reed Newmeyer. Here is Luke Monroe, who grounded out to Carter Harrington in his only other at bat. And the first pitch, swing and a miss.
This is Ferris.
Is it?
He must be pinch hitting or something. Thought I recognized him from the other day.
I wasn't paying attention. Nasir Ferris. Ferris comes in batting .305, 3 home runs, 27 runs batted in. And the 1-1 pitch is a little bit too low, 2-1.
Interesting spot to, unless they made a defensive change we missed last inning. Interesting spot to bring him up.
Yeah.
Leading off this inning.
Swing and a miss straight back to the screen. Glad my camera is a little off to the first base side here. 2-2 the count. Next pitch to Ferris. That was one that just got away from Harrington. I think he held on to it too long. Full count.
I wonder if it was that landing on the mound again. He just ended up spiking it down.
Harrington ready with the 3-2. Here it comes. And a swing and a foul ball off of the facade right above us here.
This awning type thing is wooden, I believe.
Yeah, it is. Looks like it might have an aluminum covering on the top part of it, but the bottom part is all wood, and I think that's what it hit. Another 3-2 pitch from Harrington on the way, and he walked it. Third walk issued today by Harrington.
I would expect a runner here for East, for Ferris.
And that's exactly what they're going to do as they bring out Luke, or not, yeah, it is Luke Monroe, isn't it?
So they bring him back.
Yeah. So he'll go, gets a pinch hit for, and then he'll go do the running for the guy who pinch hit for him. That'll bring up Jalen Jones, who flew out to Luke Robinson in his first at bat, and that was in the second inning. Made the final out of that second inning. A quick throw over, and Monroe is back in. Harrington dealing with another guy on first. And the pitch, turn around to bunt is Jones. Snap throw down to first base, and Bovernet had to leave his feet to get that ball, and he barely did.
Tillman's throw was way high. Back to first there.
Harrington will take another throw over to first there, and Monroe back in safely. Yeah, Carson Perrell was just beginning to sneak a little bit toward first base on the throw from the catcher, but if that would have got away, it would have been a while before he got there. Another snap throw, and that one bounces in there. And back in safely is Monroe once again. Tell you what, if that would have been on in a straight line, he might have had a chance.
Monroe needed an extra second or two there to collect himself.
Yeah.
Help back on.
I noticed that. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to the batter, Jalen Jones. Leadoff man, Reed Newmeyer waits on deck. Luke Monroe leads from first, nobody out. Pitch, and that one hit him.
It hit the bat. I heard the ping.
Yeah, I think the umpire did call it a strike.
Yeah, I heard a ping of the bat.
Could have been one of those situations where it got skin and bat at the same time. Now the umpires are going to get together to talk about it. I don't know if anything from the fielding umpires would change their mind.
Yeah, it was a very slight ping. A little muffled with these headphones.
Oh, yeah.
But might have been louder out there than I thought.
Well, Jones was definitely shaking his left hand when he came away from the plate after he dropped the bat.
He was definitely hit by it at some point.
Umpire still discussing.
It hits him first, then the bat.
Well, it's kind of hard to tell. If it hit his finger and then the bat, or his bat and then the finger, or both at the same time.
I think it's going to be hard for these field umpires to have something different
Oh, yeah.
than what the home plate umpire came up with, but conversation continues.
Oh, they're going to give him first base. Second hit batter of the game for Harrington is going to put the first 2 on.
Well, that means Brett's going to want some kind of explanation.
Oh,
on
yeah,
that.
I'm sure.
See Luke Robinson out there in center field. He threw his hands up.
Yeah, I just don't see how the fielding umpires, who are so far away from home plate, can make a determination to overrule what the home plate umpire already called, and he's the one standing, like, what, a foot away from where the play happened? Well, yeah, I could read the umpire's lips. He's saying he wasn't swinging, but he was bunting. Well,
that could be the third thing if it's still an offer at a bunt, then it hits him. You could say it hit him first, and then it's a strike. So there's 3 possibilities there.
Yeah.
And only one really hurts Collinsville the most, and that seems to be the one we're going with here.
Well, at any rate, I doubt that they're going to change their minds now. So let's get back to some baseball. Of course, the Collinsville fans are like, you got it right the first time. It was a foul ball. Well, I didn't think the umpires were going to change their mind. So Monroe's on at second. Jones is on at first. And here comes Reed Newmeyer. Newmeyer has been on base twice here today. He has singled and walked. And now Ryan Warnicki is going to come out and talk things over with Harrington. Figured he would have done that while Swift was talking to the umpires.
This just kind of just offers Brett some more time to argue this call.
Yep.
Not a bad time for a mound visit anyway.
Well,
Interesting play.
Yeah. And interesting, we've had conversations between the umpires, conversation between the umpires and Swift, and now a conversation on the mound. We've had more talking going on in this inning than we've had baseball. We have 2 runners on, a walk and a hit by pitch. And runners are on at first and second now for Belleville East, and nobody out. And Swift still arguing.
Eventually, at some point, you're
and now the second base umpire is going to come out and break this up.
Eventually, you're going to be freezing out your own pitcher here. It's now Harrington's got a toss here with Sternum in at third.
The fielding umpire told him, he said, we're not going to change it. Go back to the dugout. So here comes Reed Newmeyer. Nobody out. Runners on at first and second. Bottom of the 5th. This game's getting late. And the pitch to Newmeyer. He turns around to bunt. Bunts it down the third base side. That's going to go foul, though. Off the end of the bat. Bounced in fair territory about halfway between home and third, and then immediately jumped to the left for a foul ball. They're just trying to move the runners up, trying to play a little small ball. I said it's getting late, so anybody scores a run, it could be the potential game winner.
They saw last half inning, and Collinsville went with the pinch runner. They thinking one run will be very important, could be the winner.
Yeah. Harrington's ready on the bunt attempt, and that one is going to be foul also. Nice job by Sternman not to charge and just let that thing go. So now it's an 0-2 count on Newmeyer.
And we'll see if East keeps the bunt on. Bunts it foul again, of course, it'll be being out.
Yep. Newmeyer from the left side, and the pitch, swinging a foul ball out of play. Strikeout would be big. Double play would be better. Triple play would be even better than that. Wishful thinking, right? Harrington takes a long time looking in and now steps off. Carter looks into Tillman once again, has his sign from the stretch, checks on the runner Monroe at second base, checks on him again, and the pitch, high and outside, ball one. Harrington goes through the signs again, shakes off one, says yes to the next. Once again, checks on Monroe at second, brings it home, and that one stays high, and Newmeyer almost offered at it. They're going to check with the first base umpire. He says no swing.
Just wanted to fire off on that one.
2-2. 2 runners on, still nobody out. Harrington pitches. Oh, what was that? 3-2 the count. Newmeyer got a single in the first, walked in the third, was stranded both times. Harrington ready to go with the payoff pitch. Here it comes. Walking.
Bases loaded without a hit so far for East.
Well, East had the bases loaded with nobody out in the first inning and couldn't come away with anything, so we will see what happens here. Here is Tommy Kramkowski. Kramkowski walked in the first, struck out in the third. And the infield's going to come in for the play at the plate. Now they're going to back up the shortstop and the second baseman a little bit, hoping for maybe a double play ball, but they were more important to cut off the play at the plate, keep this game scoreless. That ball is low to Tommy Kramkowski. Bases full of Lancers. Harrington pitches, swinging a chance through the shortstop area. One run's going to score. Long throw over to first, not in time. So the bases will remain loaded. Luke Monroe comes in from third, and Belleville East has a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that's when you're going to get knocked down before it gets behind the third baseman in that spot. Darden going to his right. He's got no chance.
So Kramkowski helps himself out with a infield base hit, RBI. And Jones over to third, Newmeyer at second, Kramkowski. He's on at first, and here is Grady Davis. Davis reached on a fielder's choice in the first and flew out to Luke Robinson in the third. Lancers with a lead, and still the bases are loaded and nobody out. Pitch, strike called on the inside corner. Harrington trying to wiggle out of a jam. There's a hard hit ball, but Robinson's on the move in center field. He is going to throw the ball home, and safe is the runner. One out, ball gets away, and that will allow Kramkowski to go down to second base.
Cats are pointing here. Might appeal this one here.
They leave early?
That's what they're going to have to appeal. Nope. Robinson, the one who made the catch out there, was signaling he thought Jones left early, but umpires disagree.
That they do. One out in the inning. Another run across for the Lancers.
Of course, that's when you have to play, you have to appeal.
Yeah. One away. Kramkowski at second, Newmeyer at third. And here is Caden Kagas, who is 0 for 2 on the afternoon, a fly out and a pop-up. Harrington, he pitches, swinging a line drive right into the glove of Lucas Owen for out number 2. And I know Collinsville's down 2-0, but that's a big out. If he's not there in that exact spot, that ball is a base hit, and 2 runs probably score. There's Brody Lindemann. Lindemann hit into that 6-4-3 double play in the first, popped up in foul territory to Bovanette back in the fourth. And the first pitch is in there for a called strike.
Canucks are going to only have 2 innings to work with here. They've only managed the 1 hit off of Kramkowski, but Swip got it last inning, so maybe things are trending right there, but not a lot of time left here as East gets on here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah. I don't see anybody warming up for East, so this is Kramkowski's game when we come back in the top of the 6th, but first you got to get out of this with just the 2 runs scored. 1 ball, 1 strike to count to Lindemann. And the pitch hits the outside corner for a called strike. Tell you what, after this half inning, I need to stand up.
Yep.
These are the most uncomfortable chairs. They're like little stools, about the size of a $50.
It's like the stools that like basketball coaches sit in for like timeouts.
Foul ball. That one bounces and goes over toward the Belleville East dugout.
They were getting foul balls that bounce and go in through those windows of the booth.
That's why they got nets in front of them now. That's why it's not a good place to live stream from anymore.
Oh, yeah, there's a net in front of it. It had to kind of go up and around. That's impossible.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count to Lindemann. Runners on second and third, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a base hit. Out into left field. That's going to score 1 at least. Here comes another throw home, and out at the plate is Kramkowski.
Great throw by Will Swip.
Yeah.
Getting the out, preventing that 4th run from coming in, but a lot of damage done there in that inning by East.
Yep, 3 runs across for Belleville East. We will head to the top of the 6th inning, 3-0 in favor of the Lancers. Collinsville has got a little comeback work that they need to take care of, and we'll see if they can get that done here after we take a timeout on the Kahok Sports Network.
Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Lottie's Cafe offers food, cocktails, and gaming in a great atmosphere highlighted by fast and friendly service. Lottie's Cafe also offers a unique menu that features soups and salads, sandwiches and paninis, pizza and flatbreads, appetizers and desserts, as well as breakfast. That's right, we said breakfast. Unique breakfast items such as a breakfast stromboli, a breakfast BLT, and breakfast burritos. Lottie's also offers creative cocktails, a wine bar, the coldest beer around, and a video gaming area for those 21 and older. And don't forget the Lottie's Cafe gift certificates. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Check them out online at lottiescafe.com, on Facebook, or in person in the Strip next to the Walmart Neighborhood Market. Or call Lottie's Cafe at 618-223-8256. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem.
Back here at Blazer Field in O'Fallon, Todd Duke, Chris Kettler along with you. Lancers score 3 times in the bottom of the 5th inning. And now Collinsville will have some work to do to come back and see if they can at least tie this thing up and send it to extras. But Kramkowski's a tough customer there, Chris Kettler.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. Perfect through the first 4 2/3. Dogs managed 1 hit. Got to start somewhere.
And that somewhere is hit batter.
Hit batter.
Garden.
We're going to bring in Pomerantz here to bat for Tillman.
So a hit by pitch for the first time. No walks given up by Kramkowski, but he hits a batter, and Pomerantz will come in to bat for Tillman.
They did get a 3-run inning off of Kramkowski on Thursday last week. First inning.
Pomerantz batting .256 on the year with a couple of runs batted in for the sophomore. And a runner at first base for Collinsville. First time they've had the leadoff man on in any inning. First pitch misses. And the next delivery outside as well. Now we're going to have time called.
Coach will come out here and talk to Kramkowski after the first 2 pitches are way outside. It's at 67 pitches. So still lots of ways to go as far as pitch count goes for Kramkowski. Swip will also talk to Pomerantz here as they, coach and batter, get to talk as well. Now the umpire will come break this one up. A few steps up halfway, and that's it.
Trying to make the camera a little bit brighter here. It's gotten a little dark since that sun is ducked behind trees. Yeah, about the best I can get her right now. And the pitch to Pomerantz, swinging a high fly ball. On the move is the right fielder, and it's, oh, what a catch! Up against the wall by Jalen Jones, and he is going to double off Grant Darden for a double play. That was a whale of a catch out there by Jones.
I thought that was gone, but that ball died. I thought that was bound to bank off the scoreboard there, and then the right fielder makes an amazing catch.
Boy, he sure did.
And they double off Darden, who was gone with that one. He thought it was going to be something.
I thought it was a home run, and you're right. At the last second, that ball just kind of died down.
So there is no wind. If there was any kind of wind blowing out, I think that was bound to bang that scoreboard.
Man, oh, man. Back to the top of the order now, and Carter Harrington. Collinsville had a chance. Man, I thought that ball was gone. I really did. I thought it was gone. Swinging a foul ball back to the screen. Well, that kind of deflates your team right there, man.
Yeah, now you're down to your final 4 outs.
Yep.
Looks like Coach Sup had pulled the right move with the right batter, and
Yep. One ball, 2 strikes to count now to Harrington. Harrington has popped up and flied out in this game. 0 for 2 on the afternoon. And Kramkowski pitches. That one is, ooh, boy.
the team's ready to walk off the field after that.
I know. 2-2 the count. 2 outs, no one on now. The air kind of got let out of these Kahok fans after that catch and a throw out. Swinging a foul ball. That'll go bouncing off the front of the dugout down the third base side. Next game scheduled for a 6 p.m. start between O'Fallon and Alton. Kramkowski, another 2-2 pitch on the way to Harrington, and he called him out. Harrington didn't like the call. He looks back at the umpire, gives him a look of disgust, and the inning comes to a close. 6th strikeout on the afternoon for Kramkowski, and that will send us to the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-0 in favor of Belleville East, and we're back with that bottom of the 6th in just a moment here on the Kahok Sports Network.
Lakeside Roofing in Collinsville. Let the professionals at Lakeside Roofing protect your most important investment, your home or business. Have the elements taken a toll on your roof system? Notice a leaking roof? Maybe it's time for a free roof inspection. Regular maintenance can extend the life of your roofing system by 10 years or more. Lakeside Roofing is your winning team for commercial and residential roofing systems. Lakeside All-Star professionals have installed, repaired, and maintained hundreds of roofs on both sides of the river. Call Lakeside Roofing today at 618-344-2800 in Collinsville or 314-241-5253 or online at lakesideroofing.com. Choose experience, choose Lakeside.
The Collinsville Area Community Foundation is our community's charitable foundation. We connect people, support programs, and guide resources to help our community thrive. Our board is made up of local leaders that donate their time and expertise to identify opportunities for long-term community impact in and around Collinsville. Find out more about scholarships, grants, and ways to give back to the city we love by visiting CollinsvilleFoundation.com.
Gabe Kashecki will lead things off here in the bottom of the 6th for Belleville East. Todd Duke, Chris Gettler back with you. Kahawks are down 3-0 in this game. And they are going to need a little top of the 7th magic to happen. But right now, they need to not allow any more runs across, as the Kahawks already trail 3-0. And the first pitch into Kashecki misses for a called ball 1. And Kashecki has been hit by a pitch and lined out. Well, he lined the ball off of the pitcher Harrington, and Harrington picked it up and tagged him out when he was running down the line. That was in the 4th. We are in the bottom of the 6th now. Kashecki, Gartland, and Monroe. If anyone can get on, the number 9 batter Jones with a chance to bat. There's a liner kind of sunk on Bovinet at the last second. He tried to pick it, but it was too late. And down at first base is going to be Kashecki.
Diving for it kind of actually worked against him. It did die in the turf there, but if I could have just scooped it up right out and got it, he out at first. Bouts comes in to run.
Bouts. Will Bouts, a senior. Bautz is how you pronounce his last name. And here is Angus Gartland, the designated hitter, 0 for 2 on the afternoon.
I think the Kahawks had Odell warmed up last inning.
Pitch inside.
Stick with Harrington. Looked like Coach Warnicki was waiting for signal there if they were going to bring in Odell or not. Stick with Harrington.
Alton Redbirds are down amongst the fans down the first base line on the other side of the fence. There's a called strike. 1-1 the count to Gartland. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Give him an air. Throw over, no good. No, not in time anyway.
I don't have that. I don't know.
No.
Maybe. I mean, misplayed it.
Yeah, I gave him an air.
I would think so.
Yeah. That one's outside and low. That'll even things out at 2-2. Harrington looks into Tillman, has a sign, runner at first, 3-0 in favor of Belleville East. Collinsville swinging a high fly ball to Luke Robinson out in center field. He will back up a few steps and make the catch for the out.
Right back and get that one. Like I said, there's no wind, so
no,
it's not hard to judge where it's going to go.
It was a little breezy out earlier. There was a little bit of a wind, but it's blowing from the first base line out to center field, so an American flag. Not moving much, though.
Yeah, it is kind of like kicking up now as soon as I say that.
And we'll bring up Luke Monroe. Monroe sacrificed himself. There's a high bounding ball to Sterneman, and over to first in time for the out. 2 away. Checky moves down to second. Right now, it is up to Jalen Jones to keep the inning going. Collinsville needs the third out and see if they can put together some kind of a run streak in the top of the 7th to keep this game going. Jones was hit by a pitch, came around to score in that 3-run 5th inning. And
that was a big controversial call last inning.
Yeah.
Kind of the key to it all. Set it up.
Yeah, because a walk to Ferris got that inning started. Then the hit by pitch. Then a walk to Niemeyer. And a swing and a foul ball out of play. So the bases were loaded with no one out. And then a single by Kramkowski scored 1. And a fly out. Scored another one. And then Brody Lindemann smoked the ball out into left field. But Will Swip threw out the other runner, so that ended the inning. But 3 runs scored. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count now to Jones. Runner at second, swing and a miss, and down on strikes is Jones to end the inning. Lancers end up stranding another runner. And an error allowed that base runner, but that did not come home to hurt the Kahawks. We head to the top of the 7th inning. Collinsville down to their final 3 outs and needing 3 runs. We'll see how they handle that when we come back from a timeout here on the Kahawk Sports Network.
Got vinyl? Rich's Record Emporium in Uptown Collinsville can take care of all of your vinyl needs and more. You can peruse through thousands of records, from country to hard-to-find jazz, and classic rock is always in stock at Rich's Record Emporium. Used vinyl, new vinyl, and hard-to-find vinyl. Don't forget to check out the audio room at Rich's, where you can check out the latest in audio gear, from new top-of-the-line speakers to turntables and receivers, plus all of the accessories. Rich's has t-shirts, record cleaners, turntable needles, wall art, and so much more. If you can't find what you're looking for at Rich's, they will do their best to find it for you. Don't forget to mention seeing this ad on the Kahawk Sports Network for a 10% discount at checkout. Rich's Record Emporium, 131 West Main Street in Collinsville, or call 618-795-1333 or online at richesrecordemporium.com.
Back here at Blazer Field in O'Fallon, and it looks like Braden Henson is going to come off the bench and bat for Henry Sterneman. So it'll be Henson and then Bovenet and Perrell.
Yep, Henson just didn't start, said he was available following Thursday's outfield incident there where the players got hurt.
Ramkowski trying to get a complete game going on here. And the pitch is inside. Ramkowski does not have a complete game this year out of his 10 starts. Put it all together here for the playoff game, though. He is 3 outs away from advancing. Next pitch to Henson. Swing and a miss. That'll even things out at 1-1. Braden on the year, batting .317. 1 home run, 14 runs batted in. Next pitch from Kramkowski. In there for a called strike.
Didn't read too much into that and not having any complete games. You know, early in the season they might workload, and then some games that maybe they just are up too much and they want to bring somebody else in as Henson strikes out there.
1 away. Collinsville down to their final 2 outs, and that is the 7th strikeout on the afternoon for Kramkowski. Here comes Adam Bovenet. Bovenet has grounded out and struck out in this game himself. Carson Perrell waits on deck. Here's Bovenet, and he'll take one that's just a little bit outside, ball 1. Collinsville needs base runners to have a chance here. Down 3-0. And down to their final 2 outs. That one's called a strike on the inside portion of the plate. That'll even things out at 1-1 to the Kahawks senior first baseman, Adam Bovenet.
Yeah, the Kahawks don't get out of this inning, keep the game going, the season going. I said Bovenet's been a fun player to watch. He's been out there since he was a freshman.
And now he's in a 1-2 hole.
See if he can't get one last hit here.
Kramkowski, he pitches, swinging a foul ball out of play. So Bovenet keeps himself alive as the sun comes back out. It's the first time that it's been down this low and it's on our backs. That feels pretty good. Shadows have creeped all the way out to second base as Kramkowski wants another new baseball. Fallon and Alton waiting in the wings. Belleville East, 2 outs away from advancing. Here's the 1-2, and oh boy, that was tough to take. 2-2. Kramkowski peers over his glove, has his sign. The 2-2 pitch to Bovenet on the way, and I don't know where that one was either. Boy, Bovenet, man, that's nerves of steel to take those 2 pitches, but works out in his favor. Full count now to the Kahawk first baseman. Like I said, you got to have base runners to have a chance. We'll take a walk. Bovenet, here's the 3-2. Swing and a foul ball off of his foot.
Perfect spot where he's got that guard on.
Yeah. He has to adjust it.
Well, guard on the lower part of the leg. It's also on top of the shoe.
Yeah. I think that's what it hit off of, was the top of the shoe. Still remains a 3-2 count to Bovenet. Trying to get on base ahead of Carson Perrell. Kramkowski's payoff pitch on the way. Swinging a bouncer over Kramkowski's head, and not going to be in time to get out Bovenet, despite the nice effort there by Grady Davis, who spun around on his knees behind second base and still had the wherewithal to throw the ball, but Adam Bovenet will get an infield single, and Collinsville will have the tying run coming to the on-deck circle.
Matt Reynolds will come in to run.
Got to have some speed, man. Reynolds on the year has stolen 2 bases, been caught once. Bovenet had 5 stolen bases. He was caught 4 times. Here is Carson Perrell, strikeout victim both times up. Got caught looking in the second, and a swing and a miss strikeout in the 5th. Excuse me.
Yeah, he's been pretty frustrated in his at-bats with Kromkowski here. See if third time is a better opportunity here.
Outside, ball 1. Collinsville trying to fight back, trailing 3-0 down to their final 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and that one's outside as well. Of course, if you're Belleville East, you're looking for a clinching double play ball here. Ramkowski, the 1-1 on the way, swing and a miss on an outside pitch by Perrell. And Perrell now down in the count 1-2.
Yeah, he got the call on that last pitch. Then goes back to the same spot, and that gets Perrell out there swinging through himself.
Ramkowski, the 1-2 delivery on the way, swinging a foul ball out of play. Heading down there where the Alton Redbirds have gathered. Perrell will dig back in from the right side. Trying to keep the line moving. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count, and the pitch. Stays high, 2-2. Ramkowski looks into Lindemann, has his sign. From the stretch, he fires. Swing and a miss, and Perrell's down on strikes for the 3rd time today. 2nd strikeout of the inning, 8th of the game for Tommy Kramkowski. And now it is up to Luke Robinson. Robinson on the afternoon has grounded out, and twice actually, once to the second baseman and once unassisted to the first baseman, Kagas. Swip waits on deck. He needs Robinson to get on in front of him. Reynolds gets his lead at first, and the pitch, swing and a miss by Robinson.
Need one more runner to have any kind of chance.
Yep. Robinson trying to do that. Runner goes, and the throw down to second base, not going to be in time. Matter of fact, it hits Reynolds.
Reynolds on the shoulder.
They're just going to make sure he's okay.
The second strike is called, so the Cats are down to their final strike.
Yep.
And Reynolds is okay on that throw.
Yeah, Collinsville picks up their first stolen base on the afternoon. So a runner in scoring position, but he doesn't mean a lot. I mean, he means something, but you got to have more base runners to have a chance. And Robinson in an 0-2 hole. Now there's timeout called.
Oh, this is a balk.
Oh, they're going to call a balk. Okay. So a runner 90 feet away here for Collinsville. Kramkowski trying to forget about the balk and worry about the batter. Here's the 0-2, swinging a fly ball. That one looks like it's going to get down. It will, and Collinsville is on the board, and the tying run will come to the plate.
Senior's not one again there. A couple good at-bats by Malvinet and Robinson to keep that one going. Cats finally get on the board here. Will Swip drove one last time. It's all up to him.
Will Swip doubled in his last at-bat, grounded out to third in his first at-bat. And he can tie this thing up with one swing of the bat. Here's the pitch, outside, ball 1.
Good eye there, shook that one, said nope, I'm going to take that one.
Kramkowski delivers the next, and that one's inside, ball 2. Tying run up to the plate in the form of Will Swip. Robinson leads from first. 2 away here. Top of the 7th, and the pitch, and he offered at it. 2-1.
Bob dropped out of that one. Nobody's home. In case, Swip, you've seen it. Better eye next time.
Ramkowski. 2-1 pitch on the way, and that one is a called strike on the outside corner.
That's been there.
I know.
Been calling that all day.
So once again, Kahok's down to their final strike. 2-2 the count, 2 outs, runner on first base.
Pitch 100 from Kramkowski right here.
Here's the pitch. He offered at it, did Swip. He's out, and the game is over. Collinsville strands a runner. And that is going to do it for Collinsville and their season. They lose this one by a final score of 3-1. And that'll take us into the postgame show, brought to you today by LC's Pub in Caseyville. Great food, great drinks, and great service is served up daily at LC's Pub in Caseyville. You can check them out. 605 North Main Street is where they're located. Call in for carryout orders, 618-855-9007. Post-game show comes your way next on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice.
First National Bank of Waterloo, with over 100 years serving the Metro East. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo at their Maryville and Collinsville locations, and now in Marissa, St. Laborie, and New Athens for all of your banking, mortgage, and lending needs with super low closing costs and low construction loan rates. When you need a loan, call the Collinsville team at First National Bank of Waterloo at 618-345-1121, or visit their Maryville or Collinsville locations or online at fnbwaterloo.bank. Visit First National Bank of Waterloo, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Looking for a new place to catch the game with cold drinks and great food? Look no further than 1101 Bar and Grill in Caseyville. 1101 Bar and Grill features pizza, burgers, wraps, and salads, plus 7 large screen TVs to catch the latest Kahok games and all the pro sports across the spectrum, plus all the college football and basketball you can handle. 1101 Bar and Grill in Caseyville, 1101 Caseyville Road, right across the street from Kahok Stadium. Call 1101 Bar and Grill for carryout orders at 618-223-1332. Todd Duke here, proud member of the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Whether you call us teachers' aides, paraprofessionals, or educational assistants, it all comes down to one thing: taking care of students. More importantly, your student. Yes, we are there for the teachers, and we help them in any way possible. But our goals are in line with our teachers, in that we want to see our students succeed at not only being a student, but well beyond that as we ready them for the world outside of the classroom. We are Union Strong. We are Kahok Strong. We strive to help students reach their potential. We are the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Go Kahawks! Caseyville VFW Post 1117 Auxiliary supports the VFW with post projects and fundraiser events. The Caseyville VFW Auxiliary also provides donations and sponsorship for Veterans in Need, Jefferson Barracks in St. Louis, the Caseyville Food Pantry, outreach programs, summer lunches for students in the Collinsville Unit 10 School District, and now the Kahok Sports Network, plus sponsoring CHS programs like band, theater, and sports. If you would like to provide support or join the Caseyville VFW Auxiliary, contact the Caseyville VFW Post 1117 at 618-344-9878. Got questions about Medicare? If you're approaching the age of 65, the answer to that question is a resounding yes. Bill Holton is a former Collinsville Raider and Kahok football player and is now an independent broker with Senior Health Plans. And he can answer all of those tough questions when it comes to Medicare. Which plan, which part, what's covered, and what's not. If you're approaching the age of Medicare and need those questions answered, let Bill Holton get you those answers. Bill Holton with Senior Health Plans. Call him today at 618-978-2306 or email Bill Holton at william.holton@yahoo.com. Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than Elsie's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, Elsie's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. Elsie's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food, like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. Elsie's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And Elsie's Pub shows Kahok games live, as well as Blues and Cardinals games. Elsie's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at Elsie's Pub. Elsie's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice.
And we welcome you back in here to the LC's Pub post-game show, which we had better news to tell you about, but we do not. Collinsville drops this regional semifinal game here today by a final score of 3-1. Collinsville had one run on 2 hits. They committed 1 error and left 2 base runners on. Belleville East, 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and they left 6 base runners on base. And Chris Kettler, Tommy Kramkowski, was out there dealing, man, got through the first 15 batters without allowing a hit or a walk or a hit batter or anything, and that's a tough way to go through a game before you can, finally try to do the comeback thing. And Harrington matched him there for a while. I mean, not the perfect game style of things, but up until the bottom of the 5th inning, he kept Belleville East off the board.
That's what you're going to end up with here in these first regional games. It's going to be number 1 pitcher against number 1 pitcher, and one guy's just a little better than the other here today. It's a lot tough for the Kahawks there. Kowski was slowing down a little bit at the end there. The Kahawks finally got the 1 run, but a few breaks there for East allowed for their big inning. And, that's, like I said, that's just what's going to happen here in these first-round regional games when both teams' best pitcher is out there.
Yep. Well, that is going to wrap up our 2024-2025 year.
It's been it's been another one. It's been a wild odyssey.
Yeah, always is.
Nice to wrap up another one with you here, and then we'll turn the page and look to see when fall sports come for the next school year.
Yeah, remember, everybody, the next school year we are switching everything over to Huddle TV, all except for bowling, hockey, and most likely softball. We'll just keep that one on the YouTube channel. I got to keep the YouTube channel alive before they end up taking it away from me. So for the foreseeable future, we'll always do bowling and hockey on the YouTube channel. But once we get that new baseball softball complex built there back there behind the school, we'll have huddle cameras for both baseball and softball. So next year we'll probably stick with the YouTube channel for softball. But after that, it'll just be bowling and hockey. So I can tell you that we'll be next with you on the 25th of August. That'll be boys soccer versus Columbia at home at 6:30. Then on the 28th, we'll get our first look at Katie Dawson as the new head coach for girls volleyball as they take on Highland at 6 p.m. And then Chris Keller and myself will open up the football season with a little road trip out to Belleville East on August the 29th against the Lancers at 7 p.m. Already looking forward to it, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, definitely here. And like we said, football, we just said our goodbyes to Drew Cordes, who has been the go-to post-game guy as he's taken this head football coach and AD job at Sparta. So we've just kind of said our final chaos goodbyes to him. But we'll have to break somebody else in for the football post-game there. We'll deal with that in a couple months.
Yeah. All right, man. We appreciate all the help you give us. The new Hall of Famer, Chris Kettler, thank you very much for all your contributions over there. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
And big thank you to Brett Swift once again joining me on the pregame interview. My name is Todd Duke, and until August, everyone have a safe and fantastic summer.